Hello, hello, hello. Yes, Secret Sister is back. Yes, today is the 21st of April. Happy Easter. Hope everybody's doing well, doing your bun and cheese and malarkey. Me just I got to tell you the truth. Me didn't get into all of that hype. You understand? I did not spend my money like a fool. You understand? So whoever did, I hope you enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong. I did go out and do a little something, but after the hype. Yeah. I never got into none of that. So bun and cheese and all of that did buy, but way after the Good Friday. You understand? Food are food as far as I'm concerned, and all this tradition, you know, I'm really lost, really, because unless you're on TikTok and you see the real Jamaicans going into Easter with their bun and whatever, whatever, it's a big thing to them. But over here, all they do is hike up the prices when they know that West Indian people have a tradition, whether it's the fish, the bun, whatever. You know what I mean? Ackee and saltfish, everything goes up. Believe it or not, the next day I'm going to Tesco's. Whew, shopping was nice. I felt like a millionaire. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because I could pick up loads of stuff and, you know, everything cut price. So anyway, like I keep telling everybody, thank you for hi eyes and ears, the listeners, supporters, the ones that are really, really into what we have to say. Because I got something to say today. Okay, let me just be nice at first because this one's gonna get gritty, people. This one's gonna get gritty. You understand? Because testing times. So, as I do, All Purpose is the podcast name. My name, aka Secret Sister. And like I keep putting out this number, and there's a lot of chatterboxes around town. You understand? And I know that maybe I am a very hard person to get through to, but if you're real, you're real. Real, no real. But if you're gonna come over with the fakeness, go wash with me. Yeah? So there is a number, I'm gonna tell you now. 073 711 47557. I'll read that out again at the end. You understand? But there's quite a few things that I wanna, go through. So if you're a first time listener, I usually debate, little things, anything that comes up. Yeah. And this podcast was for me, yeah, to put out what how I feel. You understand? But it's all coming to all different things now. Loads of people will call me, they've got dilemmas, conversations, you know, there's things that I feel because I do the podcast, they feel confident to tell me and I can pull it out there. And believe it or not, they're not alone. Do you understand what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Everybody thinks the dilemma is just them one. But in Augusta, do you understand what I'm saying? And sometimes you need someone that you don't know to just chop it up with you. You understand? And just have a chat, make it more easier. They might even come with some solutions that you never even thought of. So don't ever think you're alone. So, like I said, I talk about everything from relationships to politics to man and woman, health, you know, narcissism, people with relationships that's not working. They just need someone to just say, you know what, this is that way, or just look from it from another point of view, basically. It's not something to tell people what to do or how they should run their show. Sometimes you just need a third ear, you know? So, like I said, kids, money, jokes, movies, anything that comes to my head. Yeah, it could be something even about myself, families, and that's the one we are gonna joke up under today. You understand? My particular family. You understand? I'm right under them today, like a tenor lady. You understand? Today. You understand? So anyway, people, I was really enjoying my day yesterday. I had a new bed delivered and I was enjoying my new bed, lying down there playing my Candy Crush. Me, I've got the Bob Marley, me have a look of coffee, me I look on TikTok, everything was all right. Boom, phone ring. So everything I do, I have to explain really. So we're going to be talking about the Johnson family today. Yeah, we call them the J family, but it's the Johnson family, my surname. Yeah. So that family, they're not feeling me, I'm not feeling them. No problem. You understand what I'm saying? I haven't seen my donators, yeah, the people that brought me into the world for how many decades? They don't piss on me, I don't piss on them. They don't piss on my kids, I don't piss on their grave. Simple. But there's one thing, me I live in them brain for free. Yeah? For free. I'm rent free in their brain because my name don't stop, you know? Anyway, I don't mind. And I know that you're watching too. So if you have anything to say, you understand? Leave a comment. Johnsons, yeah, and Downies, yeah, feel free to ring that number if you have anything. All right, as a group, collective. Anyway, boom. We get my call from a so-called cousin. Yeah, so the Johnson family is broken up into all different. So I'm gonna say like my mother, yeah, she have a cousin. So my cousin, yeah. So that would be my what's it name? Would that be my first cousin? She has a sister, yeah, that's come from Jamaica years ago. You understand? Them two sisters have never got on. You understand? So the one that come from Jamaica, yeah, we're gonna call her Miss J. You understand? She lives in South London. Do you understand? She's got her two kids. Got one son, we're gonna call him Mr. T, and she have a daughter. But we're gonna concentrate on Mr. T. So from he come to London, I've never had a problem with him. Nice chap, come here working, very handsome, manageable, get on with him. Big age gap, I would say about 11 years age gap, but I think because he's from the West Indies, Jamaican, we got on. Anyway, life go on with their rap and for years. So now we're big people, yeah. All these family secrets that I've spoken about and whatever, some of them he's found out through me because none of these people in the family, yeah, that he's reunited with has ever connected. So, like I said, his mother has a sister. The sister has two children, right? So the two sisters have got two kids each, and none of these kids talk to each other. You understand what I'm saying to you? They've never ever sat down and said, "Yeah, let's be cousins," even though the mums don't get on. But nah, nobody want dip in a day. You want dip in everybody else's, but we get onto that. You understand? So anyway, Mr. T's called me and he's told me, oh, he's had a conversation with my uncle's son. Now, this particular son, I call him the breadfruit boy. Yeah, a big like breadfruit. You understand? And he has no sense in that big head, as far as I am concerned. Anybody else that want to call him a brain box, that's their business. Yeah, me and this brother, I don't like it. Yeah. So it looked like they had a conversation. Remember, people, my phone ring. Yeah. So anything on that conversation is what you decide to tell me. So anyway, you know when people call you and like, oh hi fam, happy Easter. So I'm thinking, rah, I wasn't expecting to hear from him because he's usually at work. He said, yeah, I work, I'm in a feeling well, I'm gonna come home and just a chill out time, Ray. You understand? Said his belly's hurting him and all these fuckery. Yeah. I said, okay, what one? So him said, oh, he can get a call from the breadfruit boy. And the breadfruit boy, I tell him, say, oh, one of our cousins, yeah, I'm gonna call her. Use initials, people. You understand what I'm saying to you? But initials, Miss A, must I call him and say she having a birthday party or some gathering, yeah, for her children or something. Whether it's children or whatever, me no know, but some gathering I go on, yeah, and she wants to invite Mr. T, but somehow my sister have a problem. You understand? Yeah. So I'm thinking, well, so bloody what? Why am I even hearing this conversation? You understand? Number one, when I chat to the breadfruit boy. Number two, I don't chat to my sister. So, what? I even know what this is. Anyway, like I said, in my time with the conversation, I said, yeah. So I said, hold on a minute, because you see this Mr. T, he love come in and call you with all of these little things, and he don't wait 2 minutes. Yeah. So the breadfruit boy must have just called you 10 minutes ago, and you just picked up the phone and thought, oh, let me just call secret. Do you understand? For what? Because this Easter thing ain't no big thing anyway. Nah, you had interior motives. You understand what I'm saying to you? Yeah, I keep telling people when you call me, you better have your plan for me down pat. Yeah, because there's no tweet over Yassa. Anyway, listen, before he even went any further, me just said to him, all on. Somebody called you to tell you someone wants to invite you to a party, and because one of the guests have a problem with you, them not call you about the party. So may I ask him, have you and the party host got a problem? He said, no, me and Miss A, we ain't got a problem. I spoke to her the other day. So you know when you know that that person's chatting shit, because if you spoke to her the other day, why did she tell you about the party? You understand? You know when you just know that this brother is digging a hole for himself. So I said, you wouldn't ask the breadfruit boy, say, what? Because clearly there's been a conversation with your name in it. Do you understand? So anyway, he brought up that the breadfruit boy, yeah, because he's just moving flip floppy now. He's not because me are asking question now. What he wanted to do is call me and just vomit out all what he wanted to tell me. But no, I'm gonna stop you at each stage and ask you because sometimes I know that you filter or you're tech in or you're tech out, whatever you wanna call it. Anyway, it might come to him about the breadfruit boy, met up with him, brother, and he says sorry to his brother. Once again, I'm thinking, what are the what you chat about? Go on, you have something to say. Let's wait to the end before I explode on your ass. Yeah? So I'm saying, okay, because number one, like I said, when I chat to the breadfruit boy, you never know, I see them never chat, but you're letting me know that. You understand? Chatterbox. Yeah, you're some bitch. Anyway, you come back, oh, the brothers make up and why couldn't you say the same thing to Secret? So you know, and I was like, what? So I said, Secret? How did my name get bring up? What has that got to do? Hold on, but remember, people, you call me and you said to me, Happy Easter. From Happy Easter, I think we got into another conversation, yeah, about me and my partner. I was giving him a dilemma. Do you understand what I'm saying? And he was saying, oh, he was giving me some good advice. So, as far as I'm concerned, the conversation was cool. You come with two brothers have made up party and you're not invited because my sister's got a. So I'm saying to him, if my sister's got a problem with you, when did that happen? I didn't even know. Say you lot had beef. Yeah. So he said, no, I think it's because me and you talk. So I said, did my sister tell you that? Do you understand? Did she come and tell you, say, oh, because you're chatting to Secret, I'm not going to chat to you. Do you understand? Instead of him just saying, him not like her, he might use me as a scapegoat. So you know when I just thought, you know what? The spanner is already in the works and in the spine already. It's true say this were a video call, he really can't see I've turned into the colour of a beetroot. Because what you're mentioning my name for, brother, yeah? Number one, you chat to the breadfruit boy. We will call that the op. Now, why are you chatting to the op and mentioning my name? You understand? You're telling the brother to come and apologise to me. For what? When you clearly know, say, me no want chat to that. Blows and yeah? I've already blown these head gaskets. So why are you delivering it? And that's why I know saying Mr. T is a trouble. Yeah? The breadfruit boy call you. You're not saying me, not like it. But you're encouraging him to come over here to say sorry to me. He doesn't need to do that. So anyway, people, let's dig in further. So when, like I said, when he's talking, you have to stop these people little by little. So when you're questioning them, they don't like it. He didn't like I was questioning him. Why are you asking that? What's the problem with that? So I'm saying, listen, yeah, you're saying many things and no clarification. You're hearing someone come and tell you that you're invited somewhere and another person has got a problem with you, and you just come to the conclusion, because you're chatting to me, that's why that is happening. So I said, no, brother, you can't do that. And I don't like that you're even mentioning my name. So you're trying to tell me why, use an excuse. Sometimes, these guys, yeah, they're more bitch than woman. You understand? You work the longest hours I know. You understand? Upon the tree. You say you there at work and your belly's cutting you. Even that could be a lie. You understand? And you've got the time to call me about a conversation you had about you that you had to mention my name. Listen, Stad. So I'm saying to him, listen, what I'm gonna do, yeah, I'm gonna get the breadfruit boy on the phone, so the three of us is on the phone. Because remember, you just had this conversation. So me, I got getting panic for one. Listen, people, I've never seen a 360. No, you're not. No, you're not gonna call him. Why are you gonna call? I've never seen anyone hopscotch around like some big, like hot coalies on their foot. Man is going on different. So I said, what's the problem? You understand? What you doing? Why? What you don't believe me? You're calling me a liar. Well, I'm gonna leave that to God. You understand what I'm saying to you? I said, that's the problem. Yeah, maybe with families and friends, someone can just come and tell you something. You run with what you hear and never ever think, you know what, let me just clarify. Remember, me I chat to the breadfruit boy, you know, because this conversation apparently just happened, it's fresh in everybody's mind. No, you're not this, that. So, that no, you're not, and not was going on for about at least 6 minutes, and I was done on the seventh minute. Yeah, I was telling him, my big son walking out of the room now, conversation has ended. Yeah, because now you're flip flopping. Why wouldn't you want the person on the phone with the three of us? Yeah, that's why people, let me tell you something. When people want you to get done over, yeah, always question the messenger. Yeah, because remember, people don't have conversations on their own. You must always, no matter if that person that you chat to, because I chat to Mr. T all the time. Do you understand? But there's been so many incidents. This is the second one now. The breadfruit boy telling him another secret about the babies that were left in the toilet. We're gonna get onto that one again in a minute. Do you understand? Because this thing yeah, of telephone, it done. Like I said, I'm here. You can see me clearly on this camera. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? I've given out all the information. There's every platform you want to find me, you can find me. Yeah? But all of this hurdling, do you understand? Clearly, whoever's hurdling someone in the camp is not to be trusted. And it's clearly the breadfruit brother. You understand? You are battling yourself. If people don't want certain family members to talk to others, get on with it. It's been going on for so long. What is the problem? You understand? But you can see, says sour grapes is now going on in the camp. People are feeling uncomfortable. You understand? Some people want to break from the cycle because it's not their problem. They've just put themselves in an issue that had nothing to do with you in the first place. And the breadfruit boy is the one. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? His father is my uncle. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? My uncle was a sound man. My uncle, I've picked it all over the place like Nutella on bread. Do you understand? And he has taken up on himself to go and find two children that was anonymous to any other family. I believe my mum knew about these kids. Yeah. So apparently, years ago, two babies were left in two public toilets in hospitals. Yeah. And his nurse find them. Anyway, people, if you want to know the full story, it's on ITV, Lost Families, Long Lost Families, yeah, with Davina McCall. And it was in 2022 May, so you might have to go and put the year in. You'll find it if you know how to work ITV catch up. Yeah? So when my uncle was alive, none of this was going in. My uncle have over how much over, well, as far as I'm concerned, it's 20. I mean, I know because even when at the funeral, you see babies are coming out left, right, center, all sorts. When I started this podcast, it was about family secrets. You think, you know what, it done that's then, innit? But no, do you understand what I'm saying? Somehow, like I said, my uncle has got so many children, but this just particular one who thinks he's the boss. But if he's the boss of his little minion brother and sisters. Yeah. So my uncle's been here for years until he passed. No one thought, oh, let me go and get a DNA test. These kids, I can just look at least 80% of them and know that they're not my uncle's children. No one even said to the breadfruit boy, go and get DNA tests with certain, because even one of them, their mum was a prostitute. You understand? Them that are Battersea girl, them fit and all that one that is prostitute, she's now paralyzed from the waist down. So I'm saying to him, you can go on boots. And when you go on a boots, you can get these DNA tests. You understand? The only thing that might be pricey is to pay for the test. No, in the one under that one, they're here. You wait for ITV production to come in because they're gonna cut you a check, and you and my mother gonna make documentary and do DNA test. My mama. So that's why I said, you know what? Because they are into incest, my uncle clearly was the P word. Because when I did my research, whoever these babies are, yeah, they look like they are my uncle's children. You understand? Because the breadfruit boy, him declare it. We call him straight away and cuss out him BC. Because what's that about? Once again, it's meant to be a secret. Don't let no one know. So what is it that my younger cousin could have with my mother? This time, my mother's never even made him a drink in life. My uncle was in jail the whole of that youth, the life. And he might make out like him had a favourite because he maybe have stayed with his dad for a little while and his mum, whatever. His mum done teeth out my uncle's money. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? My uncle weren't with his mum when he did. Look how much of these baby mothers there around. And all of them, I'll call them all fool. Because not one of them get a ring out my uncle. None of them get nothing out of my uncle. All they do is just left pickly. And like I say, I believe some of them is not even my uncles. We are going to continue this. Give me one moment.